Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today I'm going to recap a movie titled The Transporter, which is a 2002 English language French action thriller film. So let's get into the movie. The movie begins with Frank, who is a transporter. He goes to a bank to complete his deal. As the thieves arrive, Frank tells them that their deal was about 3 men, not 4. Then he explains to them the chances of being caught if they travel with 4 men in the car. He tells them the rule of not going against the deal. To make the deal happen, one of the thieves is shot dead in the head. After that, Frank helps them get out of an impossible car chase by police and makes them reach their destination according to the deal. They pay him money and offer him some extra to get them further away, but Frank doesn't accept the offer. Frank goes back to his house. After reaching, he changes the number plate of his car and washes it completely. From the news, he comes to know the thieves whom he helped were caught by police after their accident with a taxi. During this, Commissioner Tarconi visits Frank. He tells him that the thieves were helped by a man in a car similar to his car and asks him about going to the city. But Frank lies to him that he has not gone anywhere. Tarconi inspects his car but finds nothing suspicious. Before leaving, Frank asks him for coffee, about which he says that he'll have some coffee some other day. As the officer leaves, Frank gets a call from another client. He goes to meet the client and, after getting all the required information about the package and making the deal, leaves the place. He tells them that the package will be delivered whether no one receives it from the other side. After that, he starts his journey. On the way, his car's tire gets flat, and he opens the back of the car. He comes out to know that it was a human whom he was transporting. After having a refreshment break, he takes 1 bottle of juice for the person in his car. On the way, he stops his car, and on opening the package, he sees a beautiful girl. He makes her drink the juice, and after that puts her back on the cover. After covering some distance, the girl starts screaming and he opens her. She tells him that she has to pee. Frank puts a rope in her neck to keep a check on her and gives her 1 minute to pee. She goes to the bushes and runs away. Frank comes to know about her escape and catches her easily. When he was bringing her back, he faces 2 police officers and knocks them out. After that, he goes to the place of delivery where he meets Wall Street and delivers his package. There we see the 2 police officers in his car. Wall Street pays him for the transport and gives him another package for delivery. Frank leaves from there. On the way, he stops for a break and was going back to his car when his car blasts and the officers are killed. Frank goes back to Wall Street's place and beats all his men there without killing anyone. Frank leaves from there, taking one of Wall Street's cars. On the way, he comes to know that the same girl was sitting in the car with him. Firstly, he gets her out of the car, but later decides to take her with him. On reaching home, she tells her name, Lei, and also tells him that he is in big trouble now. After listening to this, Frank unties her hands and feet with the help of a knife and goes to sleep. She then walks around and sees some old photos of Frank where he is in the military and his childhood memories. After that, she falls asleep on the sofa. On the other hand, we see that Wall Street comes to meet his injured man. On being asked, the man tells him that it was the transporter who beat them all, and they haven't provided any information to the police. After getting his answers, Wall Street kills his man and leaves. The next morning when Frank gets up, he notices that she has messed up with his things. Frank then sees Lei in the kitchen, who makes breakfast for him and has prepared Madeleine for him, which she offers him to test. Frank then asks her to keep quiet, as he likes everything quiet in the morning. Frank tells her that it's time to get milk, and when she goes to get milk, she meets Officer Tarconi, who is standing at the door. A quick reminder, before we continue our review of this movie, if you've enjoyed the video so far, consider subscribing, as we frequently upload such informative and entertaining videos. Let's continue. Lei introduces herself as a cook and Tarconi tastes Madeleine. After that, he shows the burnt number plate of his car. Frank lies that he went to the city and his car was stolen. Lei also helps him by lying that she brought him back here. Tarconi then asks to see the car. Tarconi inspects the car, but as he was about to see the broken front of the car, Lei makes him busy talking about his romantic relationship with Frank. On hearing that, Tarconi decides to leave them alone and asks Frank to come with him to the gate. Tarconi asks him to visit his office with Lei with a new story to file the report. As Tarconi leaves, Frank and Lei go inside the home and he gets angry at her that the day he met her, she had messed up his life and asks her to keep quiet. Then he feels something wrong and a rocket hit the ceiling. He comes to know that these are Wall Street's men who have come there to kill him. They fire a lot of bullets at his house and ultimately destroy it completely. Frank saves Lei from attack by throwing her into the water under his house. He brings oxygen cylinders and takes Lei to his second house. On reaching there, Lei offers herself as a payback to Frank, and they make love there. In the next scene, we see them both in Tarconi's, lying that they both were busy in a romantic swim where no one watched them and when their house was destroyed. Tarconi asks Frank about bullet rounds the police found around his house, about which Frank says that the attackers may have been mistaken. After that, Tarconi leaves room for being called out, and then Lei gets the information about Wall Street. When Tarconi returns, they were sitting normally. After that, he gives them before leaving to go to a hotel room. Lei then sits in a car and asks him to go to Wall Street. Frank denies doing so, telling her that they can start a new life as everyone thinks they are dead. But then she tells him about her family, that they are about to be killed by Wall Street with 400 other people who are reaching today in a container. Frank agrees to help her and they both reach Wall Street's office. There they make him hostage. There Frank comes to know that Leigh's father is also involved in all this and she has lied to him. After a while, Leigh's father reaches there and asks his daughter to put the gun down as they both don't want to kill each other. She puts down the gun under one condition, that they'll have to let Frank go. As she puts down, they were about to kill him when the police arrive there and they just make Frank unconscious. Tarconi reaches the office and Wall Street asks him to make cases of extortion and kidnapping against him. Next we see Frank in jail and Tarconi was standing outside. Frank tells him about the situation of 400 people and asks Tarconi to let him go as he is the one who has the ability to stop them. Tarconi believes in Frank's abilities and lets him go by playing hostage. They both reach the seashore where Frank gets his guns and leaves for the mission. He reaches the seaport where Wall Street and Leigh's father were present. He checks all the containers with the help of a stethoscope. Next, we see Leigh, who gets into an argument with his father who slaps him and asks his men to take her to the car. Before they leave, Frank is spotted by Wall Street's men who are killed by him. Wall Street himself attacks him and runs away, leaving Frank and his men. Frank manages to escape from there and follows the container and Wall Street. Then he jumps over the local transport to save himself. There, he fights many of Wall Street's men. He knocks them all out in a hand-to-hand combat. When thugs with guns attack him, he manages to escape from there by jumping into the ocean. He gets out from there and starts chasing Wall Street on Tarconi's car, which gets out of order during the chase. Then he sees a plane landing nearby and asks his owner at gunpoint to help him. He takes him over to the containers. Frank asks the pilot to call Tarconi and tells him to meet him down there. Frank skydives and lands on the truck, having a container on it. Frank takes the control of the truck, but Wall Street attacks him and manages to throw him out of the windshield. Frank survives that and is seen hanging downside the truck. Leigh's father shoots at him and Leigh tries to stop him. Frank manages to hit their driver with a rod, who loses consciousness and their car gets off the road. Frank then attacks Wall Street and throws him off the running truck, killing him. Frank then stops the truck on a hill where Leigh's father takes him at his gunpoint. He asks his man to shoot Leigh if she tries to be smart and asks Frank to go to the waterside. Frank smartly manages to break a piece of rock and hides it under his hands. Frank tells him that his daughter is not like him and never will be, and Leigh's father says that one day she'll be like him. Then they both hear a gunshot and think that Leigh has been killed. Leigh's father was about to shoot Frank when Leigh shoots him from behind and he dies there. She tells Frank that he was her father after all, on which he hugs her. Officer Tarconi arrives there and appreciates Frank for completing the mission. Later, they rescue the children from containers, and the movie ends there. If you have already watched this movie, share your reviews with us in the comments below. Before you go, make sure to like this video and share it with your friends who are into drama, comedy, and crime fiction movies. Thank you for watching.